I'm Dany, and I'm going to talk to you about some skeptical news and events for this week, and also bring you a skeptical interview. On Monday, the 7th of December, Skeptics in the Pub are having an evening celebrating Christmas. It's called Skeptic's Guide to Christmas. Starts at 7:30, but you need to book. On Tuesday, the 8th of December at 6 o'clock, Professor Bruce Hood is giving a speech on supernatural beliefs, me or memes, and you can find out about that on the Goldsmiths website. On Thursday, the 10th of December in Camden, you can listen to the British Humanist Association Choir singing some Christmassy, skeptically music.
I've always been a writer since I was a kid, so I think I tend to be a pretty good writer, and I pride myself on my ability to be humorous and to appeal to a larger group of people than a drier account of science would do.
Great. So if people want to read what you've written, then they go to your blog?
Yes, skeptic.org has pretty much everything they need.
And how often do you write for it?
I try to write once a day, but that usually results in once every other day. But luckily, once I started getting really busy and the blog started getting really popular, I hired they work for free, a dozen wonderful women who help me out. And so Skeptic has grown by leaps and bounds, and now I have these amazingly awesome, passionate women who are helping me not only blog more often, they are, Skeptic is updated 3 or 4 times a day now, but they're also doing new projects, new events in all across the world, and also new ventures like grassroots skeptics, helping other skeptical groups get going. We run an events calendar. We're really reaching out to help more skeptics get going and to spread critical thinking.
And how would you compare English skeptics to American ones? Are we more intelligent over here?
I don't know if I could say more intelligent. Well, you sound more intelligent, though.
Thanks. Oh, you mean in general?
I mean just the accent.
Oh.
What is the difference? I think that these days there's so much crossover that both groups are learning a lot from each other. And so I think that the most valuable thing that happens between the cultures is trading of information. For instance, creationism is just coming to your shores.
Thanks for that. Thanks for the sharing that.
Hey, thanks for the measles. Yeah, that's you. But it's you, personally.
Sorry.
No, but, we help each other also. As the pseudoscience spreads, we help each other, I think, learn how to combat the pseudoscience. So I think that it's been a big help to have skeptics in the UK help Americans learn how to deal with the vaccination BS. And as we can hopefully help you learn to deal with the creationists. So.
Well, do you think you Americans have dealt with the creationists?
We're still dealing with it, obviously, but we're learning, because we're fighting some big battles. If you look at Dover, Jeannie Scott of the National Science something or other. Google Jeannie Scott.
I'm going to do that now.
Jeannie Scott is this amazing person who just fights tooth and nail for scientific literacy, and she's pretty much my. I don't tend to have heroes, but if there's somebody that I would like to be half as awesome as, when I grow up, it's Jeannie Scott. So people like her are out on the front lines, fighting it in the courts, and it's something that the UK might have to deal with, unfortunately, soon. So I think that we can help each other in learning how to deal with that.
Excellent. Stuff. And you're obviously a bit of a frontliner yourself.
No, I'm way in the back, cracking jokes.
But very funny jokes.
People too. Thank you.
And is there anything else that you'd like to say to the audience of The Skeptic?
No. Thank you for welcoming me to your country. And I apologize for anything I've said.
When are you going back?
Never. I'm here for good. Oh, come on.
No, it's great. Thanks for coming. Did we ask you over here, by the way?
My husband asked me. Thank you. Okay. He's one of your kind.
Okay.
A limey, if you will.
All right. Welcome. You're allowed to be here.
Thank you. What a very warm welcome that was.
You know it was sincere. You could tell.
Oh yeah, no, I could totally tell. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Rebecca.
Thank you.
He likes to read books.
For the super speedy science and skeptical book review this week, I'm reviewing Ayaan Hirsi Ali's Infidel. This is one of my favourite books. This is all about Ayaan Hirsi Ali's life story, her struggles from living in Muslim countries and being brought up as a Muslim through her teenage years, when actually she was quite an ardent and strong Islamist, to her travelling to the West and becoming an atheist. It's really fascinating, especially if you want to know what it would be like to grow up in one of those countries with that very strict religion. And so I give this book 10 out of 10. You may have noticed President Obama's Thanksgiving proclamation this week failed to mention God. Could it mean that he's secretly an atheist? I have a feeling he is. 10,000 albinos have had to go in hiding in Kenya, especially around the region of Nairobi, because people believe that cutting off their limbs has magical powers. A paper in the Journal for Evolutionary Psychology by Gregory S. Paul reports that prosperity and atheism are highly correlated. To add to your list of skeptical Christmas presents, you might like a couple of books for kids. One of them is called Maybe Yes, Maybe No, A Guide for Young Skeptics. That's by Dan Barker. Or you might prefer The Magic Detectives by Joe Nichol, which is a guide to help nurture your children's critical thinking skills. So that was skeptical news and events for this week. Come back next week for more.